Good day, everyone. Today is the second Sunday of Lent. Here's a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus took Peter, John, and James and went up the mountain to pray. While he was praying, his face changed in appearance, and his clothing became dazzling white. And behold, two men were conversing with him, Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spoke of his exodus that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. Peter and his companions had been overcome by sleep, but becoming fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. As they were about to part from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But he did not know what he was saying. While he was still speaking, a cloud came and cast a shadow over them, and they became frightened when they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my chosen Son. Listen to him." After the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. They fell silent and did not at that time tell anyone what they had seen. The Gospel of the Lord. So, a few of you may have been on retreat with me last weekend, and you might be able to relate to the experience that comes when you're on a retreat, especially if it's one that goes very well for you, and then what it's the thought of going back to regular ordinary life just seems very mundane. And especially if the next day is a work day. Now, for me, I had that Monday off, so that actually helped me out quite a bit. And it was another day that I could go to Mass, so kind of wean myself a little bit off of the retreat experience before transitioning to work. Now, there is a book that I did see on sale at a retreat that I've been on, not the one this past week, but one in the past, and it was called Coming Down the Mountain, How to Turn Your Retreat into Everyday Living. And it's written by a fellow named Thomas Hart. Now, this book was written about 25 years ago, but keep in mind that the Transfiguration happened nearly 2,000 years ago. So it's not going to become rendered irrelevant very quickly. The fact of the matter is that your experience in retreat is temporary, and most of your time is going to be spent in the valley. And the valley being kind of a mundane and very ordinary and sometimes just very dissatisfying place. But the reality is that's where we're going to spend most of our time. Those of you who meditate on the fourth luminous mystery of the Rosary can understand this sentiment. There's a desire for holiness in Peter, James, and John, and understandably wanting to live that again, but never actually talking about it while they still live here. And something that just kind of stays inside of them, but just the hope that maybe they can experience that again is kind of what sustains them. Peter initially did not think about that right away, and of course he wanted to hold on to this experience. He wanted Jesus, Moses, and Elijah to stick around. He wanted Jesus to be in his glory right there, and Moses and Elijah to be right there with them. And he wanted to hold on to that experience. Obviously, that's kind of going to be an impulse of his, especially when you're experiencing something like that. But eventually we all realize that in the end, we do have to spend most of our life down here, and retreat really is just a temporary experience. I mean, you think about it, that's why a lot of retreats, they do have reunions. Earlier today, I got an email for that retreat last week that there will be a reunion of sorts in, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks or however long in the future that is. And anyone who's been on Cursillo, you get those Ultreya nights, which are reunions of sorts for people in a local area. And those happen quite regularly, and especially for something as intense as Cursillo, that's understandable. But the thing is, we just bear in mind that you maintain a desire for holiness and just keep looking ahead to what could be in the future for you, and that should and then that makes it just that much easier to get through your very plain and ordinary life, or so what it seems after you've been on an experience as profound as a retreat. So just some food for thought for anyone who is going to go pray the luminous rosary either any day they feel like, or this coming Thursday, or actually no, it's Lent. A lot of people do sorrowful mysteries, but if you feel like doing the luminous ones, there's some food for thought for you. So anyway, peace out, everyone.